And good evening, everybody. Welcome here to Homestead-Miami Speedway, the track that, in the Sprint Cup Series, as well as the Camping World Truck Series and NASCAR Nationwide Series, is the place for the season finale. But not in this league. You're watching the Mobil1 Cup Series, where we end up taking and messing everything up. But anyway, we're getting ready for tonight's race, the Ford EcoBoost 300. Tonight we are getting ready for our fourth race of the chase, getting close to the midway point of the chase for the championship, and the points are definitely taking on quite an interesting form. We'll get to that in just a moment. Jacob Lawler lines upon the pole position for this evening's race. Lawler still looking for his first win of the season. Alongside of him, one of four rookies in this season's chase for the championship, that is Zach Hamlin. Hamlin is still looking for his first win of the season there for the Richard Petty Motorsports team, but he starts on the front row. Charles Jackson, another chaser, lines up in the third position. Jackson comes into this race a total of 26 points out. He is fourth in the standings, and alongside of him is Carson Gum in the 77. Carson still looking for his first win of the season as well. We are getting ready here for 27 laps of racing. Let's not waste any time. Let's get these cars rolling off because it's sure to be a great race here tonight. One thing we'll have to keep an eye on, though, the most treacherous part of this racetrack is the access road from turn 3 to turn 4 onto pit road, which the drivers will have to use if they are going to be doing green flag pit stops. And we saw in the Snickers Cup Series race a couple of nights ago that this is definitely a treacherous place to try and make a green flag pit stop if you are up to full speed. As you're looking at your starting grid on the top of your screen, the drivers highlighted in yellow are your chasers, and the chase coming into this race is really close, especially between the top 5. James McLeod is the current points leader by 6 points over his teammate Dylan Poteet. Then it's a total of 20 points rather ahead of LJ Mills, who is third in points. Charles Jackson is fourth in the points, a total of 26 points back, and Ricky Falcon, our winner last week from Darlington, is fifth in the points. He has a total of 28 points back out of the top position. Levi McIntyre and Zach Hamlin are tied for 6th. They're 6th and 7th. Right now they are a total of 41 points back. And then 48 points back, and 8th is Tristan Foltz. Drivers who really need good runs tonight to get themselves back mathematically in the championship hunt include Gene Sanfer, Jake Rogers, Jessica Shelton, and Joshua Collard. As we're getting ready, green flag is out here in the Ford EcoBoost 300. Wow, the frame rate dropped right there on that green. I don't know why, but it did. Jacob Lawler trying to put that car in victory lane for the first time since last season at Talladega when Bob Jones put it in victory lane. Lawler, of course, don't forget as well, is running for a championship in the Snickers Cup Series. And he's about to get a challenge now from Charles Jackson. Whoa, Carson Gum just got turned in front of the whole field. Saves it though, but now Wolfgang Mason gets turned down to the inside retaining wall. Several cars are involved in this. Talampas, James Silverfox just ran to the back of Wolfgang again. Danny Wells was in it as everybody's backed up here. There's some damage on the Tristan Foltz machine, the 22. As this is the lead group coming to the caution flag, and Jackson just barely is going to keep the spot over the 42 of Caleb Farrell, Joshua Collard. Whoa, look out! Guys, can we slow it down, please? Thank you. Oh, Lawler! Yikes! Okay, so the leaders are coming to pit road, I guess, or Jackson's at least coming to pit road. Joe Davis, Jacob Lawler's coming, but okay, that was a little too close for comfort. Good heavens, they split the Jessica Shelton machine. Lawler nearly wrecked Joe Davis. And okay, yeah, that just happened. I think the leader, yeah, I think some drivers stayed out. I don't think Charles Jackson's going to be the leader anymore. I think the leader will actually be Caleb Farrell in the 42. We're waiting for these other drivers to be able to go on by that got put a lap down here under this kind of wad up. Cassandra Renzi, Jessica Shelton still need to go on by. If Trent Dunham would let the 4 and the 9 by, that would be nice. he doesn't appear to want to. Cassandra's going to force her own way through. And there goes Jessica around the outside. So I believe Caleb Farrell's the leader under caution. Charles Jackson deciding, hey, I'm getting out of this. He's going to go to pit road. And let's take a look and see what happened here. It started with the 77 of Carson Gum, who's still running in 5th after a nice save there. And then it kind of seemed to ricochet with a couple of other follow-up wrecks. Well, this started with a 4-wide situation here. Poteet, Wolfgang Mason, Carson Gum, and Zach Hamlin. Let's see where the contact initially starts. Oh, right there. Dylan Poteet comes up into Wolfgang. Wolfgang gets up into Carson Gum. And then Carson, well, he's able to save it. Wolfgang, though, went up, got the wall, comes right back down in front of Chris Washer. And the two of them are going to slide down. Wolfgang with the passenger side, going to hit the inside wall. And then the passenger side of Chris Washer's car hits the nose of his 82. And then Silver Fox got spun out by somebody further back, along with Danny Wells and Justin Talampas. Let's see how that one started. That was when they all got wadded up there. I think Jake Rogers got into the back of Silver Fox, turns him up into Andy Timmons. And then further back, Danny Wells gets hit. Well, I think Talampas actually got hit from behind by McCrory, and then got turned down into Danny Wells. So it's a whole lot of drivers sliding around here. And a big reason why the drivers were all wadded up back there, I believe, was because they had that caution flag fly. It kind of confused them. And I think they thought, these drivers that had spun, that they had to give the position back to these drivers where they had spun across the start-finish line. So they were all slowed up trying to give positions back. Meanwhile, the leaders behind them were racing back to the stripe. So a bit of communication problems here. And man, James Silverfox, he would have been okay if he hadn't run to the back of Wolfgang Mason. But he did. And there you see a big crunch on the hood of that Arrowhead Chevrolet. But that's what put us under the caution flag for the first time this evening. Caleb Farrell is your leader after a number of the leaders decided to pit under this first caution. Let's head back to green. So we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing. We know that Charles Jackson, Jacob Lawler, Joe Davis, those drivers, they'll be at least 3 laps to the good than these other drivers. And we'll have to see if maybe that pit strategy is going to play out in their favor. Caleb Farrell restarting as the leader. Joshua Collard, one driver who does need a good run. I mean, he has DNF'd, I believe, in every single race since we started off the chase for the championship, or at least been involved in a wreck every single race. He's going to restart second. Trent Dunham lines up third. Mason Wood fourth. Carson Gum is fifth. Don't know if Carson's got any damage. We'll find out in this restart. Dylan Poteet now is in sixth. There's Ricky Falcon, last time out's winner, in seventh. 8th place Kyle Matthews. Nick Smith runs in 9th. And Andy Timmons completes the top 10. Hey, for the first time, for a long time in this season, Andy Timmons was not the first caution. He's been the first caution for quite a few weeks. That's why he's 41st in points. Drivers out of the race after the incident we just saw, by the way, are nobody. Tristan Folks, you see, no hood, but he's still on track. And where's Silver Fox? There he is, 30th for this restart. So, green flag back out. We'll jump back up to Caleb Farrell and get this race back underway. So all 42 cars that took the green to start this race take the green to continue this race. Saw the Jordan Davis machine stepping out of line further back. Ricky Falcon now getting challenged for that 7th position by Kyle Matthews. Matthews going to take the spot. Meanwhile, further back, Mason Wood and Carson Gum getting into it. That's for 4th place. Dylan Poteet getting a challenge now for 6th. That's courtesy of Kyle Matthews. As Ricky Falcon begins to start to free fall, now caught in a 3-wide situation with Nick Smith and Jordan Davis. Battle on for the lead. Joshua Collard looking for the top position. His good buddy Trent Dunham trying to push him there. Ritz and Sega against the Target Cartwheel Chevrolet. Move Collard to the point, but not for long. Collard kind of slipped up there. I don't think Trent necessarily moved him up. I think Collard may have slipped up, and Trent by a nose is going to lead on under that 3-wide battle. As Carson Gum now goes to the point. I guess that car's not damaged. Right behind him, Dylan Poteet. Poteet's trying to take the points lead back away from his teammate James McLeod. Right now doing a good job of it because McLeod's mired way back in traffic right now. Comes Tim Walsh up the inside line as well in the 32. Had a great run at Darlington. Would love to be able to win here. Was there a caution flag waving? I guess not. I thought I saw a yellow flag and the flag... Oh, there is a caution. Yeah, I thought I saw on the top of the screen, I thought I saw a yellow flag waving, but it was up where that dark bar is there showing the speed and everything, and I wasn't certain if that was what I saw or not. Looks like a spin over in the turn 3 area. And all the leaders are going to come down and pit under this yellow, including the 31 of Dylan Poteet. See if we can find out who it was. Oh, Nick Alton's on pit road. A lot of front-end damage on the Dollar General Toyota. So I can only assume he was a big part of the reason that we are under the yellow flag. Let's see. It looks like Joe Davis is coming to pit road. So is Charles Jackson. So the drivers who pitted under the first caution still coming down here under this caution. So this puts everybody back on the same page as far as the pit sequence. Poteet not going for any tires. Gas and go for the DuPont Chevy Camaro. A long gas and go, but a gas and go nonetheless. He's down and away. Nick Smith had a very fast pit stop too in the 3. And Poteet's down and away. Nick Smith comes out second, then Matthews, Davis, Gum, and Walsh. And nobody came out ahead of Poteet, so first on, first off. Lightning fast pit stop by the number 3 pit crew. Moves him up to second. And apparently Nick Alton, an incident over in turn 3 is what puts us under the yellow. Let's take a look at a replay. Well, Nick Alton actually has some damage on his hood already. Must have been from that whole wad up that took place under the first caution. But Chris Washer gets a great run on him coming out of 2, but then gets into his left rear. And take a look at this. See if we can get actually a better camera angle. This will be a much better camera angle. Look at the impact. Holy cow. You know, it's ironic Washer getting involved in this because you remember the wreck that took place at Darlington last week? Chris Washer getting airborne? That looked very similar there when Alton hit the wall here. Almost comes up into Tristan Folks. Close call there for the 22. But that is why that smoke and the skid marks were there in the turn 3 vicinity. And that's what put us under the caution. A hard lick for rookie Nick Alton here on the back straightaway. Puts us under the yellow for the second time here tonight at Homestead. We'll get ready to go back to green flag racing. We are going to be just past the halfway point too. Dylan Poteet is the leader. Second place Nick Smith. Third place Kyle Matthews. Then it'll be Jordan Davis and Carson Gum the top 5. The rest of the top 10 off pit road were Tim Walsh, Trent Dunham, Ricky Falcon, Joshua Collard, and Joe Davis. You see Joe Davis starting in 10th and Charles Jackson starting in 12th. Those two must have not had to have had as long a gas and go pit stop as the others because they had pitted under the first caution. So as a result, they're starting up here inside of the top 15. So take a look at the cool flyby camera. Love this camera angle here at Homestead, even though we haven't really used it much this weekend, but here it is. Let's find out where the rest of our chasers are actually restarting. Levi McIntyre restarts in 13th. James McLeod in 17th, so he's steadily working his way up. Zach Hamlin's all the way back now to 21st after starting the outside of the front row. Gene Samper is 25th. 26th is Jake Rogers. Jessica Shelton is in 30th. Further back, you've got Tristan Folks damaged in the 39th position. LJ Mills in 41st. He's damaged as well, so don't know what's happened to third in points. And then we do have, out of the race, the car of Nick Alton. So 41 of our original 42 still on track. Coming to past the halfway point now. Flagman ready. Green flag back out. We're back underway here at Homestead. So a couple of drivers making their moves up here towards the front. A couple of drivers, though, starting to slip back as well. And right now, Dylan Poteet, who is your current live points leader, is showing the way, trying to pick up his third win of the season here. No driver's been able to do that yet. We've had 3 two-time winners, including Poteet, his teammate McLeod, and Jake Rogers. As Nick Smith goes to the inside. Oh, wow. Tried to get the side draft, thought a little bit better of it. Remember, hey, we got to give a little bit of room here at Homestead. But he did lead that lap nonetheless. Here comes Jordan Davis down to the bottom, looking for the top position. And now here comes Tim Walsh in the 32. You know, you talk about Nick Smith here. Michael Norman Motorsports went to Victory Lane last week with Ricky Falcon. Nick Smith would love to go to Victory Lane again for M&M. And so too with Joshua Collard, who's making a move back there. Whoa! Jacob Lawler spun. He just turned Mason Wood. Mason Wood turned down to the inside wall. Caution's going to probably wave. Oh, my word. Oh, Pollard just got airborne. Gene Sanford's collected. Jake Rogers is in it. Andreas Allen is in it. One car upside down. That's Pichu London. Wolfgang Mason's been involved. Matthew Dalio is in it. This is the race coming back to the line between Joe Davis and Tim Walsh. Walsh will win it out by a splitter. But oh my goodness, that was a horrible wreck up in turn 1. And these guys better be careful because they may be coming up on some damaged machines. Saw what happened when that occurred on the first caution. Look out. Oh, guys, what in the world are you doing back there? Levi McIntyre, Jordan Davis. Look out. They're coming to pit road, looks like. McCrory deciding to stay out. Oh, whoa, whoa. Oh, I thought they wrecked up here. That's just Andreas Allen and Rohit Vidar who's smoking up ahead. Oh, my goodness. That was probably the most violent wreck of the weekend. As Joe Davis leads them down, but I believe Anthony McCrory has decided he's going to reap the benefits of staying out, and he'll probably restart as the leader. He is now scored in the top position, but oh my goodness, that was a horrific wreck. Started back with Jacob Lawler and Mason Wood and just escalated over into turn 1 into the entrance of the middle of turn number 1 and 2. Wow. We got to look back at a replay of this one. Coming to the closing stages of the Ford EcoBoost 300 and a huge pile up here now. We're definitely going to have a lot of entries into the garage area after this one. Well, I tried a lot of different camera angles to see which would be the best. The helicopter view by far is going to be the best one to see what happened here. 4-wide situation between Jacob Lawler, Caleb Farrell, Mason Wood, and Justin Talampas just going to go horribly wrong. There you see Farrell gets into the left rear of Mason Wood, into the right rear of Jacob Lawler. Lawler, not able to hang on to it, collects Mason Wood again. Meanwhile, Farrell goes up into the outside retaining wall. He's going to come down. He's going to get Jake Rogers. Then Gene Sanford's going to run into the back of Farrell. Jessica Shelton's going to get a piece of it there as Sanford comes down in front of her. But then watch on the right side of your screen. There's Vadarvu getting involved. And watch the 89, the purple car of Stephen Pollard III. Watch what's going to happen here. I'm not certain who it is going to hit him. Oh, Allen gets into the back of Mason Wood. He gets up into Pichu London. Pollard gets into Andreas Allen, and then he's going to get a hit from behind right there from Matthew Dalio. And look at the car airborne there. Actually flips over onto the hood of the 42 and then causes Pichu London to flip over as well. Meanwhile, up ahead, Gene Sanford, Jake Rogers make more contact and spin. And oh my goodness, that was quite an incident. Pichu London's car came to rest on its roof. I'm actually quite surprised there weren't more cars involved. Oh, there's Wolfgang. Who did Wolfgang get into? Oh, he hit Jacob Lawler. Right there. Oh, man. That's a hard hit. Wow. So we probably had about 8 to 10 cars involved in this. I thought it was a lot more. There's Matthew Dalio. Wolfgang slides way up and slams the wall. And that's what put us under the caution, getting us ready for a shootout to finish out tonight's race from Homestead. Take a couple of onboard looks. First, just along for the ride with the Alliance Truck Parts Ford Mustang of Matthew Dalio. Oh man, right there. That was the hit that got Stephen Pollard III airborne. Just nowhere to go. Looked like he had clear racing room, and then everybody just came up the track off the apron. Now on board with Chaser Tristan Folks. Watch him and fellow chaser LJ Mills. damaged and off the pace make their way through this wreck. They do a great job finding a hole and picking up a lot of valuable spots that may help them towards the championship hunt. Look at that, nice and smooth through there, and you can see just how much height the 89 car got. Oh, they wrecked up here too! Shelton got wrecked by somebody. I think it might have been by Silver Fox. Okay, so I didn't even know that happened. Shelton got turned around, and they were racing back here to the yellow. That's a piece of information we didn't have before. We got it courtesy of the onboard from Tristan Foltz. Alright then, so after quite a pile-up, NNSCRA officials doing a great job. The crews down there clearing up the debris. And we are back to green flag racing on lap 21 of 27. There was a question of possibly having to throw a red flag for that whole incident. But due to the fact that a number of the drivers basically came down pit road already, they were able to get it cleared up. It was interesting too, Anthony McCurry actually was asked to use the access road coming out of turn 1 into turn 2, so that way the crews would be able to work up there in 1 and 2. But we are going to get back to green, and we'll get back green with 7 laps remaining. McCurry is the leader, the only driver who did not come to pit road that last time around. Levi McIntyre is now up to 2nd, so McIntyre's come from out of nowhere. Joe Davis in 3rd, Tim Walsh 4th, Trent Dunham 5th, and it's Nick Smith, Joshua Collard, Kyle Matthews. James McLeod's now up to 9th, however, you can see there is a little bit of damage to the rear of his machine. Don't know if that's going to affect him speed-wise or not. And Cassandra Renzi is going to complete the top 10. Then you got Cody Lamas, Jordan Davis, Zach Hamlin, Ricky Falcon, Carson Gummins, top 15. Top 20 will be Dylan Young, Dylan Poteet, Andy Timmons, Charles Jackson, and Sean Henley. The rest of our chasers, Tristan Foltz restarts 21st, LJ Mills restarts in 24th, Jessica Shelton will restart in 29th, and Jake Rogers in 30th, as there are 30 cars still on the racetrack. Drivers out of the race after the incident we just saw take place included Justin Talampa, Sean Galligan, Gene Sanford, Caleb Farrell, Jacob Lawler, Wolfgang Mason, Rohit Vidaravu, and Stephen Paul III, Pichu London, Andreas Allen, and Matthew Dallio, all joining Nick Alton back in the garage area. So we had one caution. Everybody continued. Another caution, one driver retired, and under our 3rd caution, we now have several more drivers back behind the wall. But right now, the point standings have kind of shuffled up a bit from the way they looked at the beginning of the race. Dylan Poteet has fallen behind his teammate James McLeod, who right now is running behind Kyle Matthews, currently in the 8th position. So right now, McLeod would hold on to the points lead still. Now looking for that 7th position with Ricky Falcon right behind him. Meanwhile, further up, Levi McIntyre looking to the inside of Anthony McCurry. That'd be for the lead. McIntyre hasn't been to victory lane since Talladega earlier on this season. Looking for his 2nd Mobil1 Cup Series win of the season. 6th in the point standings. He's been doing really well in the Snickers Cup Series chase. He just last couple of nights ago ended up transferring into the contender round of the Snickers Cup Series chase. And here comes Joe Davis. Joe Davis been the silent one here tonight. Hasn't been out in front in the lead, but he's been up there inside the top 10 for most of this race. Decided to kind of use some strategy earlier on. Came down pit road under the first caution with Charles Jackson, and as a result, he's been having good track position on these restarts ever since, but now Joshua Collard goes to the lead. And if there's one driver that wants to win more than any other driver in this field, I would have to think it's Joshua Collard, because right now, he is in such a precarious spot as far as the chase for the championship that if he doesn't come away with a decent finish tonight, you can basically write him off from the championship already. As Ricky Falcon goes to the point, our winner from Darlington last time out. Whoa, buddy! Collard, oh, okay, I thought he got turned by Trent Dunham, but he didn't. He and Trent are coming to pit road. Oh, careful, guys. You notice how they just cannot seem to get to that excess road. Looks like Nick Smith's coming in, and Charles Jackson. So we may have some green flag pit stops take place here in the closing stages, as the white flag is going to be displayed next time around. And it looks like another car coming to pit road. That's Cassandra Renzi's coming. as the battle's on for the lead. Ricky Falcon, Anthony McCrory. Falcon to the point. We're still green, white flag displayed. We're going to race back to the checkered flag. Poti got around his teammate James McLeod there. He's now up to 5th, now about to take 4th from Jordan Davis. But Falcon leads the way. Tim Walsh going to bypass McCrory for 2nd. Can Walsh run down Ricky Falcon here, or is he still going to be stuck double wide in a 2nd place battle? Looks like he's not going to be able to catch him. Ricky Falcon, where has this rookie come from? All of a sudden, he's a 2-time winner, back-to-back wins. He won last week at Darlington, wins the Ford EcoBoost 300 here tonight at Homestead-Miami Speedway. And I believe, yeah, this season he's the first back-to-back winner in Mobil1 Cup Series. We had Trent Dunham and Danny Wells do it in Snickers. We've yet to have it happen in trucks. But Ricky Falcon has won back-to-back races here in the Mobil1 Cup Series. Look out, Dylan Poti, James McLeod, and others that have been dominating the points. This rookie's on the quest for a championship. Man. He just barely squeezed his way into the chase when the chase began. But now he's making a statement, is Ricky Falcon. But the bad news for Ricky is, yeah, he comes away with a victory. That's great. But he's not going to gain too many points on Dylan Poteet or James McLeod because both of them finished inside the top 10s. We'll take a look at the official top 10 results. See Falcon winning the race. Poteet was 4th and McLeod was in 7th. So regardless of the fact that he got his 2nd win of the season, 2nd straight victory that is, Ricky Falcon, he's not going to gain too many points on either Dylan Poteet or James McLeod. Take a look, see where the rest of our chasers finished. Levi McIntyre finishes out in 5th. Zach Hamlin finishes out in 8th. So 5 chasers actually finished inside the top 10. It's been quite a while since we've actually seen that many chasers in any series finish up there inside the top 10. Good runs for a number of the chasers here tonight. Look and see where the rest of our chasers finished. Wow. 3rd in points, LJ Mills battled back for a 14th place finish. So, quite honestly, I don't think the points are going to be that much different leaving tonight than they were coming in. Looking further down, Tristan Folks, Hood missing an all. He battled back for a 17th place finish. Jake Rogers was 19th. As we look even further down there, man, tough break there for Joe Davis, Cassandra Renzi. They had to come to pit road. So did Collard. He was up there at the front, was Collard. This was a good opportunity for him to come away with a 2nd victory. 25th here tonight. I don't know now if Collard's going to even be able to compete mathematically for the championship anymore or not. Trent Dunham also finished a lap down there. So did Nick Smith. So did Cody Lamas. Charles Jackson, another chaser, 29th here tonight. Jessica Shelton in 30th. Looking further down, the rest of the chasers finished out of the race. Gene Sanford in 33rd. And I think that was the only chaser that actually retired from the race. That was. Wow, surprisingly enough, only one chaser out of the race, even though we did have a number of drivers back in the garage area. So, the only driver that may flip-flop around, the only 2 drivers that may flip-flop around a bit after this race might be Charles Jackson moving down and Levi McIntyre moving up. Maybe Tristan Folks moving up as well. We'll have to see what the end result will be as we finish up the festivities here at Homestead. Next week, folks, we are going to be heading to Lime Rock, but we still have a Snickers Cup Series race, which is going to come from Darlington. Since we already had the Snickers Homestead race, we got to then do the twist, if you will, after that fail I had, and we have to have our Snickers Cup Series race from Darlington Raceway. Then we have all 3 of our series back on track with our 5th chase race of the season in all 3 series at Lime Rock. We also have the Last Was Light series running there as well, so it'll be a pretty full weekend at that Connecticut road course. Anyway, folks, hope you enjoyed tonight's race. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the crew today. Ricky Falcon picks up his 2nd straight victory in Mobil1 Cup Series competition, and we're going to have to see where that places him in the chase for the championship heading into next week. Also, be sure to follow the NNSCRA on social media. Facebook and Twitter links are in the description, as you've been watching a production of the NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best. what a save! Dougie Shears just got turned by the lap machine of Charles Sanford, but now he's got left side damage. But he still opens up his distance. He still keeps a distance between himself and second place McCurry. But all that ground he gained, he just lost right there. But what a save!